quick minute. About to see what we can do. Back at the same one I was at the day before yesterday when I my bad. I got y'all on my mini tripod today. But I'm back at the same pond I was at the other day when I caught the 6 pounder. I guess I need to bring my mic down. But yeah, back at the same pond I was at when I caught the 6 pounder Thursday. Uh, and today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to throw a real big swim bait. It's a little windy, so I may change up to a lipless if I brought one with me. Let me get y'all situated on my mini tripod here. Oh snap. I got y'all situated all right. Legs fell all out from under me. Y'all can't see the water. Let me try to get that. There we go. And what I do is I'll come back and glance at the phone from time to time to read the comments. So we're just gonna start out. I'm gonna show y'all again the bait that I'm using. Show y'all how big it is. Pretty much about the size of my hand. So we're gonna actually try this. Let me see how it swims, cause it it actually ain't too bad of a bait. I think I'm gonna swim it in kind of fast. Uh, it got a little sinking to it, so I can stop it from time to time. But all it does is it swims back and forth, like left and right, like a snake. Uh, so I gotta carefully throw it though, because the vegetation out here, uh, vegetation out here is deep under the water. So just because I can't see it doesn't mean that I won't bump it. But this is this is one of the baits that I try when I'm at like the river and stuff like that. And somebody was like, "Man, you know what? If I was you, I would just throw that big mug in the pond and see what hit it. You say you caught a 6 pounder out of it. It's a fish in there that most likely can grab it. So try to throw it around for a while. And big baits, big baits and little ponds kind of scare me, uh, because a let me tighten up some drag on it. Hey, I don't like losing big baits, and although this is a cheaper, it kind of floats. Yeah, it kind of floats. Although this is a very cheaper swim bait than what a lot of people have, a lot of people are used to. I still I still am scared to lose it. You know what I mean? So I can't go back where I got it from and reorder it. I know that much, but I kind of would I kind of would like not losing it. So I threw it a few times over there. So we're gonna go back over to the side where I actually caught the 6 pounder, and we're gonna toss it around over there. And after we toss it around over here for a second or so, we'll go ahead and swap it out and actually put on the top water spook that we used the last time we were here, that we actually did real good on and caught the 6 pounder on. So uh try to get y'all back situated again, and then I'm gonna get to it trying to can y'all see? Nah, I'm gonna get back to it again, trying to see if we can land us another one. with a bigger bait. So we shall see if we can get cranked on. Like I said, I might pause it here and there, but for the most part, I'm gonna slowly retrieve it kind of fast, and then stop it maybe. Like I say, I don't really know the best way to work this here because this is not a size bait that I would normally throw at a pond. Like just being honest with myself. But since somebody said try it, I'm definitely gonna give it a go. Uh, and like I say, I might change up my presentation when I bring it in. But for the most part, I'm just gonna be reeling it in, maybe twitch it here and there. Uh, but I don't even know if it's gonna actually even work here. So the Mike Book Bull Shad is a another bait that I have as well, aside from the big bait that I'm throwing now. I have the baby bull shad as well. Uh oh, I got bumped. I think I got bumped or either I bumped into something. I don't know. Look, I don't know. Let's see. Now hooks are clean, so maybe something thought about it but didn't commit to it. Uh, like I say, I can work it like a jerk bait because I'm pretty sure. Oh, I got me one. I got one on it. Oh, it came off, y'all. It came off. It came off. It came off. I hooked one and it came off. So that just let me know A, it's possible, and B, now I'm extra nervous because if a little one just hit it, because it looked like it was little when it came off. Uh, if a little one would hit it, then I'm pretty sure a big one will too. So I think this bait is probably average size for the bait fish that actually are in here. And it may not be. Let me think about it. Yeah, I may not need to do the whole jerking when I bring in thing because it's steady. Ouch! Steady getting jammed up when I do that. So I think I'm gonna go with the slow retrieve, and if I twitch it, it'll be gentle, a gentle twitch. Uh, but yeah, I do have, like I said, the Mike Booker, uh, baby bull shad. I can throw it, or I can go back with the top water spook. And the cool thing about this bait, y'all, is that it's huge. Like no lie, it's huge, and it snakes. It goes like this as you reeling it in. So I don't really have to do too much when I reel it in, aside from keep it out of the lily pads that are still actively out there. Uh, so like I say, I'm gonna give it a chance because it's probably a bigger bait than most of these fish see in this pond. Uh, and just alternate my slow reel with a fast reel, slow reel, fast reel. alternated, so it alternates that S pattern that it actually is swimming in, and see which one, which one, and which way the fish actually like it. And since it's on braid, like I can tell as it's slowly dropping, what depth of the water column it falls to. Excuse me, y'all. My nose was running right then. But hopefully I get hit. Cause like I said, that 6 pounder that I caught, it shocked me when I caught it and got it up to the bank because I was expecting it to be good. I just wasn't expecting it to be that big, right? So you can feel the fight. And so I felt the fight from it. I felt the fight from it. And as I was feeling the fight from it, I could tell y'all I was like, man, it's good. This is a good one. And shit. By the time it got up to the bank, I was like, oh snap. And my phone froze because I had low battery. So uh it was one of those times where I really wished I had my phone charged, of course, because then I could have been able to actually show y'all the damn fish instead of y'all just hearing me unhook it off of the spook that I had with me. So we're just gonna kind of I threw it out that way a little bit more because it's a lot deeper over that way. And then you just get the bait started, and like I say, I'm just slowly reeling it in, and I'll say at 3:30, which is another 15 minutes. If we hadn't had a hit on it, then I would change over to a different bait, and we'll try our luck again. Hopefully, this yeah, it's real slow sinking. Hopefully, this bait can produce a nice fish for us, and all I'm gonna do at that point in time is over enjoy it because some baits are not confidence baits for me, and especially the bigger ones because I typically fish a lot of ponds like this one. And so you do have a variety of sizes in ponds most times, but I still throw the universal baits. You know what I mean? Your chatter baits, your lipless crankbaits, things like that. I don't typically come out here and throw these gigantic glide baits or S waivers or any of that uh, while I'm out here. Not saying that I don't have faith to believe that there's a fish out here that'll eat it, but it's just not really a bait I think about unless I'm going to an actual bigger lake. So that's why, that's why it's so stressful right now because I'm throwing a different bait to me, and I know I'm throwing a different one to the fish as well. And like I said, it's one that I would like to keep, especially for the fall right now, because when I go to these bigger lakes, this bait right here might actually work. And I don't want to have to order another one and wait for another one and all of that good stuff. So I am gonna give it a chance though. It actually hit the water worse than an Olympic swimmer, I'll tell you that much, boy. Golly, the splash behind this bait is ridiculous. And as you see, I'm just slowly cranking it on in. I feel I feel the bumps under the water from the vegetation. So it's pretty cool that this bait doesn't just sink the moment you stop like a lipless would, because it allows me to still go over the tops of those structures down there. So, like I said, we just gonna throw this pretty much everywhere that I can get it at without having to worry about the lily pads. And then we'll change up to the top water spook, I guess. And then if top water spook doesn't work, we'll change right back over into maybe a lipless of some sort. But I think I think if I just keep tossing it up next to the bank over there, somebody somewhere will hit it. Cause it is a gigantic bait, right? So I feel, oh, I hit a lily pad. I'm guessing. Yep. Uh, I really feel like cranking it slow as I can might be the best way. Because if these fish don't want to chase a big bait down, then they still have the option of one swimming by slow. So, like I said, we're gonna keep firing it. We're gonna keep firing it in there to see if I let it sink. Because when I say slow sinking, it's really, really slow sinking. Uh, it takes a long while for it to get down to the bottom. So we'll try this. And I could try, a little faster retrieve. Maybe they want to chase it because if they'll chase down a lipless, then I'm pretty sure they should chase this bait down as well. So we'll burn it, for a few times and see if burning it, which is just cranking it fast, we'll see if that actually creates the reaction bite that we're looking for. Let it sink for a minute and then get on it. And the only thing I'm looking for is if any fish will actually come hit it while I'm actually throwing it, and working it that way. If not, like I said, I can drop down a size and throw the S waiver, or I can throw the baby bull shad. But it's the fall time, so fish are chasing bait fish, and all of the ponds and every place you can probably fish right now. Big fish are trying to get fat, basically, and so you run a good chance at having something actually run up and chase this bait. And when you reeling it fast, I can actually reel it fast, stop it, and it mimics a dying bait fish. So that's what I might do. I might give it a couple cranks and then stop it. Couple cranks, then stop it. But I'm on a hunt for that 6 pounder again. So here in a minute, I'm gonna be switching back to what I caught them on. Yeah, here in a minute, I'm gonna be more eager to put back on what I had on when I actually caught that fish. Just because last night when I came, I ended up switching over to, what did I switch over to? Uh, a frog, and the frog actually probably would have did a lot better, but at the time that I switched over to it, I was actually rushing, trying to beat daylight from disappearing on me. So I didn't really, I didn't really probably give it as much of a chance as I should have. Uh, I was told the baby bull shad is a good bait to throw here in the pond as well, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So just cast this around in a few places. What time is it? 3:26. She got about 4 minutes to keep performing, and if you don't get hit, we just retire him, and we just stick to the script and keep throwing it out where that other where other big fish happen to be. And like I said, I can twitch it, twist the nose of it, and reel up the slack. Yeah, I can twist the nose of it and reel up the slack. I had to stop talking right then because I felt like I got hit. My hands are freezing, so I'm gonna throw on my little gloves. And I really kind of want to throw the bull shad. I'm gonna throw this over here one more time, y'all. I'm gonna throw it over there and I'm gonna let it sit for a second. I'm gonna grab my bull shad out of my backpack and just keep my line kind of tight. That way I can feel if something hit it. Because when I say this thing is extra slow sinking, it's extra slow sinking. And mm, I do got the S waiver, so I throw the S waiver in there for a few minutes. It's a lot more shiny. Uh, it's a lot more shiny of a profile than this bait, and it downsizes some. So I'll show y'all the difference in size as well. Uh, Let me get it real quick. I don't even want to deal with all of that. It's windy, so I could throw a buzz bait, but let's see. I'm gonna show y'all the difference in size of what I'm switching to for a second, cause I'm gonna try to do quick. See the difference? So we're gonna downsize, and we're gonna throw the S waiver, and then ultimately, what we're going to end up back with is the spook. So we'll get the spook and lay it out, and we'll go ahead and get the S waiver prepared to make his grand entrance. Like I said, a lot of my glide baits that I do have, like I don't really throw them, and it's not that I don't like them really, but it seems like I always forget about them, and it's like I get home and be like, dude, I wonder if I had to throw this, would it have worked, or if I had to throw that, would it have worked? So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and while it's on my mind and a bait of choice, go ahead and tie it up, and then like I said, we're just gonna throw the spook on and get it in. Burn off the edges, burn off the extra. There. Now we'll throw it and see. Now we'll throw it and see if it's a difference to these fish. But the S waiver, I know it's the same type of bait. It still swims left and right. Uh, but I know it sinks a lot faster. Yeah, it sinks a lot faster than the other bait. And like I say, it's a lot more shiny too. Yeah, it's a lot more shiny than uh than the glide bait that I just took off. I think that is a bass something or another. Can't think of the name of it now. Who makes those? But we'll just politely toss the S waiver around, and you don't really have to let it sink too much, cause it sinks by itself. So you just burning it through or swimming it by, and we'll probably give it about 10 minutes, and then we'll just transfer over to the spook itself. But this bait definitely puts off more of a side to side swimming motion than the one I just was using, and it has a holographic design on it. So with the sun being up and the sun hitting that bait, I wonder if it's more flashier underwater, which is why I switched to it versus that bone bone white bait that we just pulled off. That one didn't have any type of glimmer to it, no reflection to it or anything. So this one has a lot of that uh, colorfulness in the structure. So with that hologram flickering back and forth in the sunlight, you might get lucky enough to have a fish actually bite it. So we'll give it a few minutes. It's 3:33. We'll give it a few minutes of throwing this around, and then we'll switch over to the spook and go ahead and get into the real reason I came back out here. I got found some grass, feel like, which I don't doubt because, like I said, this bait actually sinks a lot faster than than the one I took off. Oddly enough, it's smaller than the one I took off, but it's a faster sinker in the water column than the one I took off. So we'll get that spook going here in a minute. If this doesn't produce, we'll go ahead and get that spook on and toss that spook around. I was gonna switch over to the lipless next, and I still may switch over to the lipless, but I kind of want to kind of want to go ahead and hit that top water bite just because, like I said, I know that that's what worked last time. Not saying every time I come out is going to work, but you can't beat catching a 6 pounder and wanting to be anxious about throwing that very same bait all over again. So we're gonna try it and we're gonna see what happens. These two baits are so identical that the only reason I switched over to a another one is because of the color pattern and the size difference. So the big white one versus the smaller one that I have on now, uh, that's why we want to change up the baits just in case size matters and just in case the color of the hologram really matters, which may not, but I seen a boil right there from a fish. So, like I said, we got at least 2 more casts with this, and then it'll be off, and the spook will be on. So, try to make them count, cause it's definitely time to go on and ease my mind and bring the spook out. I could really, really, in all honesty, I really could throw a frog, throw my popping, scared me to death. I really could throw my popping frog, but I don't really want to throw my popping frog because every time I throw that popping frog, every time I throw that popping frog, I end up, you know, moving out of the water column the way I want to. And I think that top water spook has just enough rattle in it to fire those fish up. So that might be the spook to me is still the best option. Like I said, I got straight braid is what I'm throwing, so uh, I won't even worry about the treble hooks on it getting, caught up and stuff like that. So this is the last cast for the S waiver, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch over to the spook and try to bring up some big green mouths, greenbacks from the bottom of the column up to the top of the surface, see if we can do it. Let's see here. Shout out to anybody hanging out in here with me today. Hopefully I ain't boring y'all to death. But if I am, I still appreciate y'all being here. I'll just do better here in a minute by not boring y'all by catching the fish, hopefully. So I burn off the line I had on here yesterday. This line and looks like one of my bobber stoppers. So let me get this burnt off and we'll switch this bait up and get back to what the fish might actually enjoy. Let's see. I don't see nobody in here. So hopefully my stats is wrong and people are actually coming in. I just don't know it. I didn't make it private. That would have been stupid. So if y'all are here, y'all rocking with me, I damn sure appreciate it. All right. Let's see here. Well, we're finna get the spook tied on and get our cast on. So let's see what kind of luck we gonna have on it. I really be hating Have to go and bring out my multi-tool, but this braid in the wind is something totally different. I think I'm finna share this live. I really don't even know. Like, in all honesty, I think I've seen somebody come in and whatnot. Let me text Bay and see if she can see me live. Hey, can you see me live? Live. I don't know what this phone is doing, but hopefully she know what I'm asking. So now, since the spook is pretty much all I'm switching to, if they don't bite top water, they just don't bite. I'm gonna go ahead and zip my backpack up. Let's see if I got any comments. Okay, somebody's in here, so it's not private. It was so empty in here for a minute. I thought I was damn private or something. I don't condone smoking for minors. It is a bad habit of mine, and if you've been here with me for a while, you know I say that in every live that I smoke in. So that's all the time. Don't do what I do. I just cast this spook out, and it's so windy on this side that it blew it in a different direction. So when I throw it back out over where I want it to go, I now know that it's gonna take some patience with casting this. So with the spook, I'm gonna work it slow too. I'm probably gonna backlash it when I throw it again because I just reset my brakes one less so I can try to get it where I wanted it at. So hopefully I don't backlash it too bad and I can get it out. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. Tighten her up some. I gotta dial it back in, so it might take a second, but I'm gonna end up backlashing it to the point where I can't get it out. That's what I fear. But hey, we gonna figure it out. Tighten up on your backstroke. Let me get my life together, y'all. What y'all are witnessing now is me going from a heavier bait. I went from a heavier bait to a lighter bait, and so now my brakes are all out of adjustment. So y'all watching me fix this in live. Y'all watching me fix this in live time. So if you are one of those fishermen, don't let them tell you, you know, you got a Shimano, blah 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 blah. Still be aware that you will have to fix your drag and all of that stuff. Please be aware of that. Don't think that, you know, I got a Shimano, it ain't gonna backlash. It will. I'll be the first person to tell you that. And so all I'm gonna do is work this. I'm gonna work this bait in those same general areas that I did at first, which is off of the bank in front of me, back to where I am. Um, and like I say, I may need to really rethink all of this, but I got to give it a shot because I caught a 6 pounder throwing the same bait. And so, like any other fisherman that has ever caught a 6, you're going to revisit that bait again. So that's what I'm doing right now. But I strongly feel like the wind may be against me today. Not really just the wind, but with the wind, some of the looser leaves from the lake are blowing around, which is making the treble hook scenario a difficult one. But at the very same time, I'm here for it. So, like I say, I'm just working it over across the way, working it back to me. Uh, I thought about throwing on a Cinco, thought about throwing on a rattle trap, but the rattle trap is really no different than the top water because it's going to go under the water and grab all of the vegetation. So, uh, I may still resort back to the frog here in a second just to get, just to still have a bait on top of the water and still be able to cast off in these areas that I want to hit. You know what I mean? So it just kind of depends. I still have to figure out if they want it fast, like twitch, twitch, twitch. If they want to pause, like twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause. Because some of those situations, you do have to change up your twitches. It's like figuring it all out all over again. You know what I mean? So I could put on a jig, I could put on anything, and I'm still going to have to figure out the cadence that the fish want to eat in. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just, oh, that's a top water. It's something moving over the water. Let me get it. And then other times it's trying to figure out how to work that bait. I can throw over here back to back to back, working it fast, and then throw right back in there and work it slower than I did all of those times and get a fish. So, like I say, it's the nature of the beast. But once you catch one, just remember how you were working it when you caught it. If you remember how you were working it when you caught it, then when you go to throw it back out, it's gonna make it that much easier to repeat that process. So that's some of my beginner tips for people that are getting into the fall top water bite that really might not ever fish top water or anything like that. Cadence. You hear a lot of people talk color. Fish this color, that color is better. We hear a lot of that, but you still have to think about the twitching, the movement of that bait. Do I move it slow? Do I move it fast? I like twitching mine slow, and it's just a thing because I think that once that bait is like, once that bass is like, hey, is that what I think it is? My bait's still sitting there. If you standing next to me and you reeling yours in super fast, twitching it super fast, your bait might be away from where that fish want to go eat. So therefore, who's going to get luckier, me or you? You know what I mean? And so I just tend to work my bait slow in general. And when I say slow, it's a twitch, 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 twitch situation. And then I might pause it. There's a twitch, twitch, and I might alternate it from a twitch, twitch to 3 twitches. But ultimately, I'm working that bait slow. So That's what I do. It might work, differently for somebody else, and that's cool. Nothing's wrong with that. Whatever works for you, it works for you. If you like your bait to come across fast so you can walk to the next spot in the pond, that's cool. But if y'all notice, I switched from two different general locations when I'm at this pond. I switched from where I'm standing now to over there on the other side. And the wind is actually blowing into that covert over there or that hole over there that I normally fish in. So I very well could, go over there. But it's just something about a slow twitch that I feel like gives a fish entirely more time to analyze if they want to make that reaction bite on that bait or not. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Um, I thought about putting a heavy weight on her with a Cinco, getting away from the top water bite altogether, and just seeing if these fish, want a down bottom bait. Maybe they're a little lower in the water column today because the weather, weather is another thing. So top water you can't beat. So I'm gonna run a top water at least once while I'm fishing anyway. Because a top water bite is unlike any other bass bite you could ever get. Trust me, it's worth it. You know what I mean? So, it's one of those things where working slow, working slow, and give a fish a chance to get up and grab it, or work it however you want to and just not worry about it. If I put that bigger weight on this Cinco and cast this Cinco out, then I already know that my bait is gonna be down bottom, right? If my bait is down bottom, then I already know that there's plenty of structure for it to fall on. So now I'm down there and I'm really in the area of the fish. You know what I mean? So like I just threw that up against the bank pretty much, and I'm just popping it left and right, making it slowly come away from that bank. And once I get out in the open a little ways from it, I'll speed it up. And to me, I know this might sound crazy to y'all, but I kind of think like a fish, right? So I know if I'm a predator fish and I think there's some dinner that just landed and he moving kind of slow, I'm gonna peep him out. If I make my mind up, but I just happen to make it up while he's moving, if he saw me, he gonna speed up because he don't want to be dinner, right? And so that's kind of my analogy of what I do. I throw in these spots, boop. I throw in these spots, and as long as I'm going down the bank, I'm taking my time. I might throw an aggressive pop in there somewhere to try to draw attention from the rattles, but it's still a slow aggressive. You feel what I'm saying? That bait is displacing a lot of water over there, so it's causing a lot of noise and a lot of havoc. Those BBs that are inside of that bait are really, you know, really going in right now. And now that I'm away from the bank, it's twitch, 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 stop, twitch, twitch. And that's how I do my thing. It's what works for me. So, like I said, I'm gonna give Kermit a chance here in a minute, Mr. Frog, and once Mr. Frog has had his chance, then I'm probably at that point of time going to throw a Cinco and put a heavy weight on it so I can get it out some distance and then just take my time working it back. So I don't really throw buzz baits a lot. I got a whopper plopper. Whopper plopper used to be my favorite. Uh, but I don't really feel like throwing buzz bait. So chances are we're gonna put that frog on. And I'm gonna work that. I'm gonna work that frog the very same way that I work this bait. Now I'm really where I want to be. In all honesty, up against that bank line over there, cause it should be something over there. Should be something ought to hit the shit out of that bait. Just my assumption of where fish, will and should hang out. It should have been something over there ready to slap that bait, but it wasn't. So we'll get we'll get one last we'll get one last cast out of him, and then we'll put on Kermit. This is where the area where I got hit at yesterday by that six. Last cast, and like I say, it's a general assumption that nothing's going to bite after you've thrown a bait so long. It's a general assumption of that. But I've had top water that I've been throwing that wasn't working, and it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. And on the last cast of it, I actually casted it, and right as I got it to the bank, like, man, what am I gonna throw next? Something actually hit it. So don't give up. You know what I mean? If it's not working right now, shit, switch up. Switch to a different bait. Keep it top water. Whatever you gonna do, keep it the same. Uh, so with that being said, the I got a swim bait, but I don't really think that's going to do. I got a spinner bait too, uh, but I don't really throw either of those. Spinner baits are not really my strong suit, but I might give one a chance later. Uh, like I said, I got a swim jig. I don't really got long, so I'm not gonna fool around with too many more changes. I'll leave the spinnerbait out because I will change to it. But I want to throw my frog and get my frog a little shine time, so to say. And then we will be switching to a Cinco. I don't even think I might just throw that. I don't know. I don't know. I might throw a spinnerbait, but for the most part, I don't throw spinnerbaits. And I know it's a lot of guys that be like, bro, it's fall and you ain't throwing a spinnerbait. What's wrong with you? Uh, Nothing. It's just preference. I don't like them. I don't like them because I never had any luck on them. But I watched the homie dangling with Dale, and shit, I saw him killing them on a spinner bait. Although we live in two different areas, two different places across the country, uh, I still had to get credit where credit is due because he killed him on the spinnerbait. Me, not so much. Me, I damn near killed myself throwing a spinnerbait. So that shit was funny. I almost choked myself. So we'll go ahead, cast out Kermit. Hopefully. Yep. Kermit is set up just right to still reach those areas. And so we'll let Kermit sit there for a second. And now we'll get to working him. And we'll see what happens. If in two casts we don't get nothing over here, we're gonna take Kermit and go to the side we normally go to. The cool thing, like I said, about a frog in any type of vegetation or wherever you want to put it, you can put it there. Frog frog don't have anything that is not going to come through unless you throw it in a tree. You throw a frog in a tree, it's just like any other bait. It may or may not come out that tree. But your lily pads, things of that nature, that frog, the frog is coming through there. So you don't have to be scared of throwing it, you know, inside of lily pads, grass, or any of that. I take my frog and I put that frog wherever I want it, sometimes where I don't want it. And it's a killer. You feel what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Put that frog wherever it'll go, as far as it'll go. I threw that frog directly on the bank over there. And now I'm just working it back. So like I say, that frog, if you can get it there, that frog don't mind going there. And then, like I say, I do it like I do every other bait. I just work it back. You might get a small one, might get a large one. Frogs are one of those baits that if a fish can get it in his mouth, it's gonna come for it. I've also had times where a fish couldn't get my frog in his mouth and it knocked it out the water. So just never, never underestimate the fish in general at all. This is the last cast we're gonna do over here, and we'll move over to the other side. Cause if I throw a Cinco on, that's where I'm gonna fish it at anyway. We'll be working our way out. The frog, I was trying to tell y'all yesterday before I realized Instagram couldn't hear me. The popping frogs are my favorite frogs because you don't necessarily have to pop it. You can actually glide it left and right depending on how hard you twitch it. You know what I mean? So just because you got a popping frog don't mean that you have to pop it like that. I sometimes like to work my frog without popping it. I sometimes like to work my frog without popping it because I don't I don't want it to splash, right? And so I can glide it. Now you got you got some frogs that aren't popping frogs, so you have to glide them. You feel what I'm saying? But let's just say I'm in a spot and I want to cause some noise, and I got a gliding frog. There's really nothing I'm gonna be able to do but glide that frog. And so, to me, a popping frog is good to have when you want universal movement from your frog. So if you want a frog that's gonna land in the pads and make some noise, throw a popping frog, right? Once you throw that popping frog, if you want it to make noise, it will, cause you can bloop pop the front of it down in that water. If you don't, then all you have to do is just slowly twitch it. If you slowly twitch that frog, then it won't make it won't make any kind of it won't make any kind of blooping noise, right? So therefore, you have two frogs in one, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. That's personal preference. I'm gonna keep making sure I mention that, because that's what fishing boils down to. Got guys that live by die by certain baits, and then you got guys that, just have a preference for a brand or a preference for a style. I'm gonna get y'all back down here. So we're gonna throw this on around, and like I said, I fished this side a lot more than the other side. So this is more of my confidence side, so to say. But ever since they had started working on this pond, I hadn't really had any luck over here. I've had a bite, but I didn't land it. So I went over to the other side, and that side I never really fish a lot because that's where people bring their dogs when they walk their dogs. So if it ain't my dog, I don't trust it. So I just try to stay away from, potential devastation. Uh, so this side here is a side that I'm familiar with in a lot of ways because this is the very same side I caught my PB on when I did catch it. Um, and so I like fishing over here on this side a lot better. It's leaves that have fallen and been collected uh, through the pond over here in the chute. So now I'm just working my frog across the top of the leaves because if a fish can still see it, he'll still come out from under those leaves and get it. And like I say, I'm gonna end up throwing a Cinco on here and working a Cinco on my way out because if the top water bite is not on, that don't mean that ain't no fish around. They just may not be coming up for top water. So if a fish is not coming up for top water, you just have to change up where you're fishing at. If they ain't coming up to get your bait, go down under them. That don't mean that they're not gonna do nothing with it. So you got to give them a chance, right? So give them a chance. Your top water ain't working, don't get discouraged. If you've been fishing top water like I have for 30, 40 minutes and you like, man, that's not working, switch it up. Me, the only reason I came over here and still throwing top water is simply because I haven't thrown it over here. I came in and I immediately went over to that side where I caught the 6 pounder at. So, you know, I was talking about people walking their dogs and I looked around right then, y'all, and I had a pit bull standing right behind me. I almost shit myself. But it's obedient pit. So he immediately went back with the guy he was with. So it's something you need to be mindful of when you're out here and you're fishing like apartment ponds like I am right now. You just got to be mindful of your surroundings because that can change up. I was talking to y'all about how I fish and why I fish, and turn around and it's a grown ass pit bull behind me. So just kind of do a little better job if y'all are out in the area where people actually live. You know what I mean? Because they do have the right to walk their dogs. I think they're supposed to be on a leash, but that's not my concern because I don't live here. You feel what I'm saying? So I just be mindful of that because the residents that do stay in these apartment ponds, they do what they do for whatever reason they do it. And whether it's right or wrong, who am I? Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna say that I wouldn't have got bit had I not been here. So, be mindful of right and wrong. But I've been fishing here for like 2 years now. So be mindful of right and wrong, but just remember, you know, certain things that should be might not be, might not apply to you in a degree, to some sort of degree, if you don't live in these areas. So be mindful. Oh, be mindful of that for sure. Because you're not immune to somebody saying, well, shit, you wouldn't have got bit. You're not even supposed to be over here. You was following the rules, blah, blah, blah. But nobody's ever had a problem with me being here at all. So, like I said, tomato, tomato, just watch your surroundings. You know what I mean? We're going to get this last cast and we're going to put the Cinco on and then we're going to sink our ass up out of here. And it'd be something we revisit another day. Another day, another dollar. But the Cinco might bring us some kind of luck. So we'll get it on, toss it around, and then we'll end it on out. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I know it may seem like I'm not paying y'all no attention, but I promise I am. I know the comments are way back there behind me, but that's why I'm talking so much, so I can let y'all know that I do hear y'all, and I am interacting with you guys, but I am fishing at the same time, which is the overall entertainment of what y'all watching in the first place. So I lied to myself, or I forgot while I was running my damn mouth that was the last cast for that frog. So technically, this is the last cast for that frog, and then we'll put on that Cinco, toss that Cinco around, and get our ass out of here. And I'm surprised hadn't nothing really bit anything top water, whether it was frog, whether it was spook, whether it was anything that I've thrown, because most of the time I can take a bait from this side, take it to that side, and actually get bit. You know what I mean? So, oh no, Backlash City. I tried to throw it up under this tree right here, and I literally messed it up. Oh no, I'm gonna fuck around and lose it. I threw it up in the tree right here, and then I threw it in the tree again, trying the same shit, which I shouldn't have tried, but I did try. Can't knock me for trying, right? Let me get my damn frog out this tree. Y'all. I'll be right back. Ah, well, I got my frog into this nice tree, and it's wedged to the point where I might not be able to get him out. Don't you hate that shit? Don't you hate that shit? Now, this frog is wrapped up in this goddamn tree so bad that the only way I'm gonna get it off is to break that bitch off, like I just did. It'll be there next time when I get back. It'll be there next time when I get back. Anyways, so now, like I said before, we're gonna throw a Cinco on. Somebody probably had that frog out of that tree and gone. When I do come back, if I could hook it, I would get it back out, but it's kind of right there on the edge of the water, so it's damn sure not summertime. So I'm damn sure not trying to swim. What they say, fuck them kids, fuck that frog, and be all right. But we're gonna throw the Cinco, and then I'm gonna get my ass up out of here. And that's one thing about me when I go fishing. I don't mind losing one thing. Now, if I threw my spook, lost my spook, lost my frog, blah blah blah, etc., then I probably would be in my feels a little bit. But fishing is fishing, and you're not guaranteed to leave any body of water with the same equipment you left with. So I have lost a whole gang of everything fishing, from learning how to fish to trying stupid stuff while I'm fishing. You know, the cast that you make, like I just did, like, oh yeah, man, I'm just gonna throw this right here. And I hit that. I've thrown in that tree several times before, actually. But it's always been the braid won't let me lose the bait. This time around was totally different because the braid allowed me to actually lose the bait. So, whatever. I don't give a damn. And haha, I think I'm gonna go with a heavier weight. Um, but I ain't discouraged or no shit like that for damn sure. I'm disappointed, but like I say, it's fishing. So if I ain't losing something, shit, something might be wrong. I could have threw over there and it hit the water and I caught a fish and I wouldn't even have to worry about what I lost. So I really, as long as Walmart still had them popping frogs or Sports Academy still had them popping frogs, I can replace that popping frog. Now I might have to wait a minute. Might have to make sure it's in my budget when I do, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna trip on it. Now if I start losing a gang of shit, then I just leave the lake because that might be my sign that where I'm at and what I'm doing, I need to be doing something different. Go home, cut grass, goddamn, go home, cook, barbecue or something. But the lake don't have to tell me more than once or twice of a depressing day that I don't need to be there because I fished with friends before where the day was all going to shit and we just kept toughing it out and we should have took the sign that it was our time to leave because then the boat started tripping and the wind came up and the storms came in and all type of different shit started going wrong that literally almost put our life in put our life in danger. And all we were concerned about was, damn, man, I just lost this dollar bait and that dollar bait. When there could have been the universe's way of saying, y'all take y'all ass home because shit finna get real. Oh, so as any backlash from throwing in a damn tree, make sure you get the backlash out when you put the new bait on because you will mess around, mess around, and I almost lost that. If that had not been braid, I'd have lost that worm too. So keep that in mind, please, and don't rethrow all of your stuff off again. So now that we got our worm on, Let me raise y'all up a little bit, just a little bit. Now that we got our worm on, we're gonna try to work ourselves into a bite before I leave, which really won't be long. What time is it? 4:20, 4:45. We out. So we got, got a little while to play around and see what a bite over here. Uh, and then I'll try to get my frog on the pass through. But needless to say, I'll make an attempt to get it, but I'm not gonna cry about it. If that makes any type of sense to anybody, and hopefully it do. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense. I want to drop this Cinco inside those leaves because I'm pretty sure something is hiding up under them. I'm almost certain there should be a fish hiding up under the leaves. And I probably should go work my Cinco over there where I caught the 6 pounder because he might be hungry. He might be hungry and might not have wanted top water today. He might have elected to eat his fish down bottom. I mean, eat his bait, Lord, eat his fish. Ha! He might have wanted to eat his fish from the bottom of the barrel. But either way, we got 9 minutes here, and then I might go over there and throw a few times just to see if I get bit over there on a Cinco, because I haven't thrown a Cinco over there in a while. I'll say that. I won't lie, it's been a while. Just like it's been over 4 months since I've been back over here because they were putting sprinklers and stuff out here, so it really messed up the fishing if you ask me. So I'm gonna see if I can get this worm to fall inside these pine needles. And I got it coming across the top of the pine needles. And then I roll it across the top of the pine needles, and then I finally get it to break inside of the pine needles. And that's a cool thing because, like I say, I want to come along the edges of the pine needles because sometimes fish will be up under those little vegetation points trying to hide. Not so much today, feel like. One more cast over here, and then we'll go sneak over there and throw up against that same area that I was throwing the top water in until we get ready to get up out of here and see if those fish are down bottom wanting want to bait more so that ain't moving across the top of the water column because ultimately our weather it snowed last night here, matter of fact. So we've been having a string of colder temperatures. We've been having a string of cold temperatures overnight So I know these fish and what they normally do are totally different from what they would do. Seasons are changing for them just like it's changing for us. Uh, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. So yeah, that's what we're about to do. We're about to go over and try to catch a fish over there before we get out of here. And let's go. I still got 3 people in here. Shout out to the 3 of y'all. Look, y'all want to see depressing at its finest? Here go my frog right here. And I can't hook it. I can't get the hooks out of the frog to the point where I can grab him. So that's why I just was like, you know what? Never mind that frog. So, like I said, it'll be there. Y'all can't see it. It's right there. See that frog? Yep. That'll be a constant reminder. Oh, I got the frog. Well, I didn't get it, but it's down here. Uh, and I probably won't be able to get it. Let me see. Hold up, yeah. Let me try a bait rescue. Hold up. Try a bait rescue right quick. Cause there's no way I can walk down there and get it, or step down there and get it. Either way, I can't go down there because I don't like creepy, crawly, slimy things. And although it has been cold here, it ain't been cold enough. I can't hook it. And I hate for y'all to see me walk down there and then all of a sudden hear me screaming like a little bitch because I done walked up on a snake. Yeah. So chances are this frog is going to either A, be here, or B, come home with daddy. Might not be able to catch no fish, but I can catch a frog. So, I guess that's a part of the never give up lifestyle. Anyways, going in the pocket because it'll be going in the car, thankfully. So let's go over here, get this last little cast or 2 out the way, and I get my ass on back to the house. I've been live for 83 minutes, roughly an hour and a half, I believe. 60, yeah, pretty much. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cast out a few times over here, and we'll be ready to go. Like I say, this is normally where I come cast it when I come over here. When I do decide to come over here from this side, uh, because I like casting up against that bank and coming back over this way, and I can feel the lily pads and stuff like that. Uh, Sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't. It's a game of give and go, and right now I feel like they're giving me more of a reason to go than anything. So I'm gonna make about 3 casts, and I'm gonna try to keep this worm as far out over that way as possible. And so with my worm, pretty much the same concept. Just work slow, bounce off the bottom a few times, and pause it, reel up the slack, and just kind of keep it low. You will feel it. You won't have to wonder about it or none of that. You will feel it. You'll feel the tap on your rod and all of that good stuff. Like right now, I just came through some lily pads, so I tighten up and I just sit there for a second because I know I just came through some vegetation. And if any fish is around that vegetation and want to take a bite, it'll be there for them. So that's that's the technique for me with worms. I know some people are like real keen on fishing weightless. I can't fish weightless. I've tried it. It's just not for me, and so I don't have any I don't have any luck with weightless fishing. Take it, pull out your string if you want to. That way you know it hit the bottom, and just pop it off of the bottom a few times. Let it sit still. Reel up the slack. Do the same thing. I really wish I could hit on something aside from the tree I caught and the frog I caught back. But if today ain't the day, tomorrow might be. Tomorrow I fish in general pretty much half the morning. So if don't nothing hit, wherever I go to tomorrow, I hope I have better luck than I am now. Um, but other than that, let me start telling y'all I appreciate y'all now. Cause when it's live, get ready to end, I don't want to forget that I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Or forget to tell y'all I appreciate y'all hanging out. And when it comes to puns, like I say, you don't have to sit in one spot. I choose to sometimes because that's what works for me. I can walk around anywhere, cast at any fish, any spot, and still not get hit. So I rather not be tired from walking around the pond, not catching fish when I could have sat in one spot, been relaxed, and still not caught the same amount of fish. Because I have walked this pond before the whole dog walk thing was an issue. I've walked this pond and not caught a damn thing. And so once I started actually catching fish in one area, that's the area that I gravitated to, in all honesty. So I don't walk this pond. I see people come out here and catfish. They're supposedly real big dumbass catfish in here. This is my last cast, y'all. Uh, there's supposedly real big dumbass catfish in here. So I just ain't been out here catfishing, but I've seen goldfish. There are huge ass goldfish in here, and today might not just be my day. The snow last night and the temperatures from last night might have really fucked these fish up. So we gave it a go, and I might twist this knob back just a little bit and try to throw exactly where I got the six. I ain't gonna say that's exactly where, but it's damn sure close. Tighten that back up because that came off too much. And once I bring it in from over here, we will be out. I see a fish turning up back there, a big ass fish. But I ain't finna go fish chasing. Finna go chase this heat up in this car. Once I bring this bait on back, yeah, it's fish playing down there for damn sure. Like I say, it's all about what you want to do when you come out to your ponds. For whatever reason, I think whatever I got snagged on is still on here. So my worm probably got grass all over it. But I'm finna get up out of here, y'all. Finna get ready to get up out of here and call it a dizzy and get this backlash out prior to any of that and get this bait going. If y'all can tell, I'm actually cold as shit now. So a lot of that take your time, bring the worm in shit is falling to the wayside because I'm bringing it in a lot faster than what I would. But it's getting a lot colder than what it was. So me and Mother Nature are in a battle to get to the car. I just wanted to make sure that I did at least attempt that area because it's right here in front of me. So if they don't get it before it get in, then they can call it a day too. And with a Cinco, you can always just slowly retrieve it too, like a crankbait, because the tail end of that worm still flickers. You know what I mean? But we done hung out for a nice little minute. Didn't shit shake. I caught my frog that I lost. So still a win for your boy. It's cold and a bitch. And I'm about to hop up out of here. I thought about hitting another little spot on the way to the crib, but nah. I go get my ass out of this cold air. It's probably almost 39, 40 degrees out here. So peace. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And I'll catch y'all next time.